Hi, welcome to Men Dun Jia. My name is Douglas Chan. Today I'm going to share with you how to read a Men Dun Jia chart easily. So a lot of people, they thought that Men Dun Jia is a very difficult metaphysics to be learned, and apparently because they are not being shown the easiest way and they have to learn many things to make themselves complicated. So today I'm going to teach you the easiest way to do a 奇门遁甲 in terms of doing a prediction. So, but before that, we need to understand that 奇门遁甲 is not just a divination tool. It also can do like things, for example, reading a person's destiny, doing things related to date selection. And then from there, we also can do feng shui audit. So from here, I will actually list out some of the advantages of this 奇门遁甲. But today we're going to talk about divination and forecasting related to how to read a 奇门 chart, just purely on divination and forecasting. Okay, so this particular chart that we have over here is actually a dissected 奇门 chart. To ease the reading itself, I divide them into two different parts so that you can see the information more clearly. Okay, so in order to see a chart, we have to base on a question. So I give you one example. So if this is a chart that we look at and it's based on 2021 October or the 5th. So what happened is that if somebody were to ask me basing on if the business venture is profitable. Okay, so if somebody were to ask me, an asker or customer that asks, is this business venture is going to be profitable or not? So based on this chart, I will give based on the information that's provided. I will based on the current time and the current date. And this chart is being plotted based on the current time. So what happened is that based on this chart itself, is able to give us a specific answer. So the answer is within the 9 different boxes over here. But in order to find where is the answer, we need to identify which number is the box of the answer. We have to look at things in a more holistic manner because it's not so straightforward. So in this case itself, the answer in 奇门遁甲, we'll look at this thing called the hour stamp. If you see the rectangle I highlighted over here, this is an hour stamp. So we take reference of this particular symbol. It's pronounced as ting, ting. So we need to find where is the thing over here in the 9 boxes. So it's already highlighted over here. So meaning that the answer is actually located in box 1, telling us, is this business venture is going to be profitable? So what I can do is basing on all the information that is being located here. We have a partner, we have an obstruct, we have an advisor. So we have 2 red color and 1 black color. Okay, we ignore the one at the beside. We just look at the top, the first 3, and then for general layman's sake is, if you look at red color, the symbol is red color, meaning that it's good, but it's black color, meaning that it's not so good. So in this aspect, we have 2 red color and 1 black color, meaning that as a general whole, it's not so bad, but with some obstacle. Okay, so what kind of obstacle itself, we will actually look further later on if there's a need to. But the question is the business venture is profitable? So business venture is always talking about business, money. So money, we always have to look at the respective symbol related to money. So money equates to the profitability. So we look at this particular symbol, which is called the life. So in 奇门遁甲, the life itself represents money in terms of profitability. Business, only business related. So box 7 is actually the whole relationship of the whole business venture in terms of profitability. So if you look at the element itself, box number 7 is situated in the metal element. How do we know it's metal element? If you see that box 7, below there's a DUI, it's called the Dui. If you see this color is a gray color, that is to say that this box 7 is under the environment of metal. Okay, so but if you see the answer itself, okay, the answer itself is actually the under the environment of water. How do I know it's water? It's over here because it is a purple color over here. Purple stand for water. This one we will learn in the Qi course itself. We will teach you what color represent what element. And that's a very basic to learn regarding this Qi Dun Jia. Okay, so the answer is, and the profitability is actually in line. That means the profit actually produces the answer. But we also must need to see the business profitability. Is it in line with the person who is the asker? We need to find where is the asker. The asker is actually over here. Okay, in this case, Qi itself, we also have a ping. This particular symbol under the day stamp itself is called the ping. So ping is actually over here. So we need to highlight box number 6. So box number 6, what is the element? The element is actually metal. It's gray color with a qian, Q-I-A-N, stands for qian. So metal and the profitability of the business is metal. So metal and metal actually are in harmony. That means they are the same element. So as long as they are the same element, it's in harmony. So harmony means good. So in this aspect itself, the profitability is good, provided that over here you have to be honest and committed. And at the same time, it's in harmony with the person over here, which is the asker. And at the same time, the answer itself is giving us what 60-70% that it's not too bad. It's a go ahead, but with some obstacle in front. You see, so there's a limited choice. The question is, what are the options available? So in this chart itself, we basing on the question itself, we are able to see business venture, is it profitable? Yes, likelihood is going to be profitable. And from there, we can recommend the person to go ahead with the business venture. All right, so this is a simplified version of how to read a Qi chart. And I hope you understand, and do comment on the video itself and let me know what do you think. And subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Hello, welcome to Men Dun Jia. Today's case study, we are talking about this particular job-related situation where a headhunter actually headhunts you for a senior position. So the question is, should you accept it? So Men Dun Jia are able to, based on the chart, to see what are the potential things that might be happening, up to 70 to 90% of accuracy, depending on the person, whether he's able to decipher the information correctly. So let's go straight to the case itself. So in this case itself, what we are looking at is, we should be looking at the answer and the subject. The subject is actually over here, which is represented by the symbol under the day stamp, which is called Geng. This particular symbol is called Geng. So, and we also have to look at the answer, which is under the hour stamp. This is called the Yi. So based on these two symbols, we will need to see these two symbols to see whichever is in the 9 boxes over here and see where is it located. So after locating the box itself, then we know what are the information that is provided in that particular boxes. So this is the E, which is also called the answer. YI. Then we have the asker, which also the subject. So the subject is actually yourself. We call it Geng, G-E-N-G, pronounced as Geng. So let's highlight where is E first. E is over here. And of course, there's another E, which is over here. So in general divination, what we need to see is we will look at the one at the top. This one is below, this one is on top. there are two different symbols. So one is at the top, one is at the below. So we need to look at the one at the top. So box 8 itself represents the answer. Okay, so box 8 itself is the answer. And what we need to do is we also need to identify where is the box of the asker, which is the subject. Geng. This is Geng over here. Let's look at where is Geng. Geng is actually over in this particular box, which is in box number 7. So box number 7 is also the representation for the asker. So what happened next is that we need to see what is the information provided in each of the boxes to tell us what is the general information and the overall feel of the whole thing. So first thing first, we need to look at the box 8, which is over here. This is, we have a black tortoise, we have injury, we have a destroyer. So 3 of this particular symbol tell us certain meaning and information. And from there, we are able to, based on the information, to have a feeling or gut feeling to see whether this particular job offer is going to be good or not good. So a black tortoise also symbolizes something which you need to, something may be fake, something you might lose money. So basing on this particular question, we are talking about probably this job offer may be a bit fake, where it may not really tells you the whole story from this particular headhunter. So there's an injury, meaning that physically, mentally, or emotionally, you may be hurt if you were to accept this particular offer. So there's a destroyer, so which means that the destroyer is not a very good star to be associated with. So in this case, I'm not really too looking forward about this question, because the whole answer doesn't seem to be very promising. However, we cannot look at the just answer, we have to look at other things to see how is the overall situation. So if you look at box number 7 itself, which is over here, we have 3 red symbols, which have the open door, leader, and the advisor, which is representing you, which is the subject. So at this point of time, your status is you are very lucky. Your luck is very good. You are somebody who is very friendly, very open to new ideas, and you are also a leader, and you're also somebody who is more cultured and very educated. So it tells us a lot about yourself. So in this case itself, to look at the job itself, we need to look at the reference point. Where is the reference point? The reference point of the job itself, let's look at the depth. The job equates to, we need to look at one of the symbol, okay, equates to open door. Open door represent, let me highlight for you, which is over here. Coincidentally, this open door is over here. And as a reference point, you have the leader, we have advisor, which is together with you in terms of element. So technically, it looks perfectly fine. Okay. However, we have a Geng over here. Geng is actually the enemy under Men Dun Jia category. So we have to be more careful in this aspect. Although the symbols is telling us something which is good, as a job itself, the job, not the answer, but the job itself is good. It's with you in terms of harmony under the 5-element relationship. So technically, it should be fine. Okay, technically it should be fine. That means the job, it looks legitimate. That means there are two scenarios. One is the headhunter is telling you about the job, but the headhunter is not the one that offering the job, but the job itself is legitimate. And at the same time, we also have to see the asker and the answer itself, what is going to happen. This is, box number 8 is the earth element. How do you know it's earth? Is actually over here. We have a brown color. This is brown color, stand for earth. And the asker itself is matter, which is box number 7. Matter and earth. Earth produce matter. So in this case, the earth itself is producing the matter. That means the answer is producing the asker. So this is to say that the hurting situation is going to come to the person, which is you, which is the asker. So that is something whereby I have to really take note. That means the injury is going to come to you. So it's not a very good sign, which means that you are out of control. And at the same time, I want to see how accurate is this information provided by the headhunter. So in terms of information reliability, I will look at this thing itself. This is the thing whereby if it's accompanied by a 9-heaven, which is over here, this box number 6, 9-heaven, is telling us that the headhunter is actually exaggerating the information. So the situation is this: the job is legitimate. The headhunter, there is something wrong. Something is not so right about the information provided by the headhunter. So in this case itself, we may have to ask more information about the job. And there's also a situation whereby you can always go through the interview process to see how genuine this post is going to be. And from there, maybe you'll be able to explore further and find out some of the information that is being provided by the company. So to answer the question whether to accept or not, there is no straight answer on this, but just bear in mind that in the event that if you were to take this offer, then there's a very high situation that you may get injured physically, emotionally, or mentally. Okay, so just be a bit more mindful about this. So it really depends on whether how much you want this job. I believe that it's okay to go through the process of the interview, but just bear in mind that in the event that if you were to take up this job, then the box number 8 energy will actually activate. All right, so this is how we actually see the Men Dun Jia definition for a job hunting itself. So continue with my other videos and continue to learn Men Dun Jia. Thank you very much. Hello, welcome to Men Dun Jia. My name is Dougles Chan. Today we're going to talk about this job interview definition, and we have to see whether this person is able to get the job. So if you're looking for a job, and we can also use Men Dun Jia to see whether the job interview is going to be successful or not. So eventually, this is part of the things that we can look at. Of course, we can also look at your 八字 and your destiny reading to see your luck in the particular month itself or the year itself, whether is it going to be very, very lucky or unlucky. So anyhow, based on definition, I will go through the process with you in terms of step by step to see what are the things you have to look for to see whether you can get a job in this case itself. So this particular job itself, we are looking at a situation of the whole thing in terms of the interview process. So in Men Dun Jia, we have to see where is the asker. That means the asker, what is the asker? The asker is actually over here. This is a day stamp. First, we look at over here the 4 pillars. The 4 pillars itself, we look at the day stamp, which is, take reference, this is pronounced as ting, ting. So we look at the thing over here, which is at the top of this box number 2 itself. Comparatively, there's another thing over here in box number 3. So we will choose the one that is always at the very top. That means one is bottom and box 3, one is on top of box 2. So we always take a look at this box number 2, which is the one at the top. So the one that is below, we do not take reference to. So just be careful about this. So box 2 is actually the one to take reference, which is representing by the asker. Asker, which is the person himself, which is a he. He is the person. So all the information over here is telling us something about himself. So at the same time, we want to look at the answer. Is it able to get the job? So in this case, we look at this HR stamp. HR boxes is represented by the symbol called Bing, B-I-N-G, Bing. So look at the one that is Bing over here. So it's box number 7. If you notice, there's also another Bing over here. As mentioned, whatever we see, we will look at the one at the top. You know, here is the bottom, box 4 is at the bottom, the pink is bottom, the box 7 is at the top. So in box 7, we only look at box 7 only. Okay, so do not look at box 4 because it's not relevant at all. So anyway, let's continue and see what is the information provided in box 7 and box 2. All the symbols itself, box 7 is telling us the answer. It's a partner, we have the view, we have the advisor. So it's telling us something related to the answer of the interview. So we have a partner, which is represented by good, you know, it's a good signal. And view, well, it's a neutral symbol. And we have advisor, which is also quite a good star to be with. But at the same time, if you look at the asker, which is himself, we have a darkness, obstruct, and impulse. So it's telling us about the situation of this person. So which means that this person probably is somebody who is very lonely, alone. That means he's not a very sociable person. He preferred to not to socialize, stay at home when possible. So he's a very introvert person and can be quite impulsive because we have an impulse over here. That means his character is quite impulsive. We have a darkness. Darkness is explained in such a way that sometimes when he do things, he don't want to be too exaggerated. He would like to keep it in low profile. He do it secretly. You know, this is how the character of this person, which is about number 2, which is the person that have gone for the interview. So generally, we are looking at the box number 2, which is the person himself. Let's look at the element in terms of relationship. This is the 2 is represented by Earth. How we know it's Earth? This is a brown color, Kun. Kun is represented by a 5 element of the Earth, okay, which is brown color. So in this case, this is the matter. Matter itself, why we know is box number 7 is matter is because there's a DUI, Tui, also represented by a gray color, so equates to a matter. So in the element 5 relationship, 5-element relationship itself, Kun and Tui actually is producing, Earth is producing the box number 7, which is matter. So in this relationship, that means the asker is making an effort to go for the answer, to get the job. You see, so he will be making a great effort to get the job. It's not that the job is always coming to him. It's just that he has to make extra effort to get the job itself. And we also have to see the interviewer. That means the interviewer is actually represented by this thing called the advisor. Okay, the advisor itself, let's write it down, ADVI, advisor, that means the interviewer. So the interviewer is actually together in the same box of the answer. So, but it is not together with him because he's over in box number 2. So that means the asker is also trying to impress the interviewer. Okay, he's trying his best for the interview. So, and we also have to see where is this interview situation or interview process. The interview process is actually represented by the symbol under this view, VIE tab view. The interview itself. It's not the interviewer, but the interview itself. That means the whole process is telling us something. So, which is to say that this interview itself is also in this box 7, and himself is also going towards this thing. So in this aspect, all the information are trying to tell us that the asker is making an effort to get into this box 7, which is the answer, which is the interview, and also the interviewer. So he's making a lot of effort. So in this case, we have to see more information. So we should say that box 7 in terms of trigrams, box 7, we talk about environment. So environment itself, box 7, equates to something related to Dui environment, Dui Gong, that means the palace itself, which is a very happy environment. So I can more or less conclude that box 7 is a good environment together with the symbols partner, view, and advisor. It also support in this aspect. So generally speaking, box number 2 itself is also a Kun Palace. Let's look at box number 2. Box number 2, if we understand the trigram definition, means that the environment itself is supported by a motherly figure. Okay, a motherly figure means that the progress will be slow, but things will be taken care of. Okay, progress is slow in the motherly figure. So when we understand the box 2 information, we are able to see how is the relationship motherly figure. So there will be progress, definitely. The thing is, it will be slow. So in this aspect, we are able to see that this person, he is going to progress and being taken care of by a motherly figure. So which means that supporting itself. So generally speaking, I would say that both 2 and 7 are still very in harmony. That means the person is producing, so still there's no clash involved. There's no problems that maybe still coming from there. And although he's quite a very impulsive and very lonely person, but apparently it looks okay. And we also talk about there's something which we did not touch base on, which is there's a horse over here. Okay, so there's a horse also means that this person is a very not very stable person. That means the asker itself is not a very stable person. But that one is not to worry too much, because ultimately the question is whether he's able to get a job. You see, so after that, whether he stay on the company, that's another story, because that's in the situation already. So in this case, I would say that this person should be able to get a job pretty. There's very high chance, probably 70% to 75%, not absolute, because he is the one that's always making the effort. So ultimately, it's still depending on many other factors, whereby the competition, the price is asking, etc., etc. So the chart itself is just talking about the chances of this person, whether he can get the job. But of course, it also depends on the person's attitude. How he answered the question, whether he is able to impress the person, how many candidates are there applying for this job, etc., etc. So it's not always 100% that this chart is going to tell you the definite answer. It's just going to tell you a very specific guide, a direction, about 70 to 80%, somewhere there. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. Continue with my other video. Ciao.